I think one of the knocks on LTDs, you're getting one payment and you have to support these people forever. And I always said, isn't that better than a freeloading freemium user? Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jeremy Redmond. As you can see, I got my haircut since I filmed the first intro to this. It's only been a couple days. But here's part 2 with Jarrett from AppSumo. We talk about how I think one of the things in here in this in the following clip is how I sacrificed my Hawaiian vacation for you guys and gals. And I told my wife it was the most relaxing vacation ever. And she goes, "You've been on your phone the entire time." Like, I built a page, responded to, but she was reading a book anyway. Anyway, I go into this in there. So it's really great. Check out Jarrett. We also, in this clip, we had a post in our community tab on YouTube. Check it out. We answered all the questions that were there. So again, we want to do this more and more where we post who we're going to have on the show. You can run through your questions and we'll answer 5 to 10 of them. So however interested you are in that, let me know, throw some stuff in the community, and we'll go from there. Again, before getting into this, make sure you press subscribe and like. Please comment, say hi, whatever it is. But check this out. It gives a little inside glimpse of our time and our launch on AppSumo. It gives away some of our stats and the real process on what it takes to launch a campaign. Thanks, guys. On the record, we beat every other automation tool that's ever launched. Hey, it's that? I remember us talking and like there were no exact numbers, but like I feel like based on the activity and everything else, we've beaten every automation tool at least this year and the last couple of years, right?
So as far as like a single campaign, I would say yes, it's the best performing single campaign in this category. There's been maybe 2 tools that have done more sales overall, but across the few different launches. So if you're talking about single campaign, not, a repeat deal 6 months later or coming back for Black Friday, whatever, just a single campaign, we got that top spot.
And we spoke about this, that like we're officially done. So for right now, for the next wherever, but like we're officially done, no more. So everyone who locked in that price has locked it in. It will never be that price again. Correct?
I have nothing on my calendar that suggests that that's wrong. So we'll see what happens in the future, folks. But for right now,
what a way! What a way to say that, dude. Yeah. So like we have some poll questions, by the way. I don't know. Like, let me see if I can grab them.
Okay.
If you're wondering why this is taking me so long, it's because I've never done this, Jarrett. I've never made a poll with anyone.
You never had poll questions? Oh man.
No, I've never brought them up and like.
And these are real from your community, from your customers.
Yes, we wrote, "Hey, I'm bringing someone on from AppSumo.
Okay.
What are some questions?" And then we'll cover these.
I just want to make sure like Kyle didn't make them up on his own or something.
Yeah. We have 14 okay, so I asked, we launched on AppSumo, as many of you know, and we wanted to bring someone from the AppSumo team for an interview to answer some BTS questions. What are some questions you'd like to ask? And we can do these quick hitters. We got, could you decrease your 70% fees for makers? Asked Chamberlain. What do you say to that?
For bankers?
For makers.
Oh, can we decrease?
I guess they're talking about the split.
Yeah, the rev share split. Okay, we have a standard rev share split for first time launches, and the reason it's at the number it's at is mainly based on like average performance and what goes into the campaign from our end as far as resources, time, money to promote and everything. Like it's set up in a way where we're confident if we can hit at least a certain number of sales, which is attainable for vast majority of launches, that will at least not be in the negative. So it's not only, meant to like make ROI on the campaign, but we're trying to prevent loss, right? Because we can't guarantee performance for every launch. We do our best to try to pick good ones and make really awesome, offer structures and whatnot for the launch. But yeah, it's set up in that way. So we can talk about it. Basically, that's part of my job, is to like evaluate tools,
because we started at a point and then ended at a different point. I won't make anything public about what our split is, but there definitely is a ceiling to what you can get. Even I understand this, right?
Yeah.
Where if it's 20, 30, 40, whatever percent it is, I would imagine at some point it doesn't make any sense for you, right? Like right? Like I'm guessing,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you have affiliates that you're paying a percentage to. You are literally at one point during our campaign, you literally you were running ads on Instagram, right? Right? I don't know.
Yeah, we run
Weren't
we
you?
run ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or like Google ads. You were like putting Google ads on things.
Yeah.
So they're you're incurring those costs. So like when I do hear often when people like launch LTDs or tell me, they go, "Oh, they're gonna take 70%." And you're like, one, so that's that standard, right? But imagine we don't have to market at all. Like you're that marketing cost,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a split. So I always thought, okay, 30, 40, 50, 20%, whatever it ends up being. Because I think there's one article out there that was like 40 or 50%. And I don't know if that's a negative thing or not, or like what the leverage someone might have to do that. But I guess it's all based on product or you wanting them in there or how you make the economics work, I'm imagining, right?
There's so many variables. It's
Yeah.
for first time launches, obviously it's different than with like a returning campaign. Like we can usually get a little bit more aggressive if it's a repeat, but for first time, like we're taking a considerable risk. So
Yeah. 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 I
we
would
have to
imagine.
invest in the product, and we're not coming back to our partner. If it performs like half of what we needed to break even, we're in the hole by 25K. Like we don't go to the partner and say, hey, can we, collect some of that money back? Like we're
Yeah.
back
Right.
our
Yeah.
loss. Like we don't do that. It's like part of the
Yeah.
risk.
Next question. How do people cope with support if you get to bring in a lot of customers, a lot of new customers?
Yeah, that's another good one. I would say try to have as much resources as you can in some kind of help desk or tutorial videos, just whatever you can put together to automate a lot of that, because you're going to get a lot of the same questions probably over and over. Like you want to have somewhere you can direct them, where you already have a video that walks them through how to do that, right? You already have a
Yep.
FAQ section on your site, and even on the AppSumo deal page that deals with some of these common things that we're seeing. So that's
Yeah.
step number one. I would say step number two is just getting like the team ready. Because we've worked with big teams with 10-person support teams, and we've worked with very small teams. It might be like one or two people primarily handling support. So obviously the volume is going to depend on the popularity of the launch, and a
Yeah.
better performing deal is going to have more questions overall. But it is possible to manage even with a small team. I think it just comes down to obviously how much time you want to dedicate to it and the
Yeah.
bandwidth of
Right.
the team, and then also what you have built out, how intuitive the tool is. If it takes a rocket scientist to figure out how to do anything in there, like you're going to have a tough time.
Because it's a good question, because I think one of the knocks on LTDs, right, is you're getting one payment and you have to support these people forever. And I always said, isn't that better than a freeloading freemium user? Someone has, I don't take this lightly, Jarrett. I don't, which is why I do love the AppSumo who have hung on. And our refunds have not been that bad at all. I don't think, considering like, which has been, dude, I love each and every one of them who's sticking us out and giving us feedback. And like a lot of people, we get comments on YouTube like, I know you guys are a small team, just bumping this ticket to the top for you. And it's like that those are the people I love to bring in for one time. And I would love to have that person for life with that kind of patience, understanding the circumstance and our situation. Those are the people I want to deliver for, and those are the people that deserve good customer support for life. Like if you're me, and what is life? 5, 7 years, like 10 year? What is the life of a tool? I don't really know. Like I'm guessing 10 years. No one can ever tell. But like I know this is my life. This is my lifetime deal. Um,
Mhm.
But yeah, what do you say to those people that are like, oh, dude, yeah, lifetime deals suck because
Yeah.
like you got to support this person for one price and you might have only got $30. What do you say?
What you just said is like my dream come
Um,
true when I'm evaluating a partner, because it's not just like
mm,
partners coming on, get on AppSumo just because they want to launch. Like we are vetting and evaluating as well. And that's what I want to hear when they're talking about what they want to accomplish. If they're in it just for the numbers and they see it a lifetime purchaser as a liability, it's probably not going to be a good fit because they're kind of framing it the wrong way in their minds, and they're going to miss out on a lot of the long-term value of the launch because they're not focused on like fostering that community and getting really
yeah,
good feedback from these users and getting add-ons later when you launch maybe advanced features, things like that. There's so many different ways. Recruiting people as an affiliate or a referral
yeah,
partner. Like I've had products and companies, they build their referral and affiliate program from the Sumo links, and they sign up, dozens, hundreds of affiliates, and they're making, 10 or 5, 10,
dude,
20K per month
yeah,
in just
yeah.
affiliate revenue without much time
That
in.
is something I don't think we discussed that exact point, but we were at because of AppSumo, because of YouTube, right?
Mhm.
Someone saw our YouTube videos, came in, started going, "Can I make some content around your YouTube videos?" And then they started doing well. So he was like, "Do you have an affiliate link or whatever?" We gave him it. Dude, that person has made thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. We have like 2 or 3 other people making thousands of dollars. And I was just like, they came to us. That person came to us and was just like, "Can I do this with your YouTube? And can I like I'll drive some traffic or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah." Turns out he bought the deal on AppSumo and then like started selling his group for whatever. So that does work. And I will never forget this. I remember what it's like, and you'll learn, Jarrett, when you launch what the you're launching. Dude, there is a time where you put your heart and soul into something and no one buys you. Like, I will sit there forever and like almost seriously PTSD with launching something and the torture of it. It is so much work. And dude, I don't take for granted anybody who's given $1. As a matter of fact, I bring this up a lot. There's this quote that's like, ask someone for their feedback and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it looks beautiful at work. Oh, you can do that with your oh, it takes your invoices and automatically emails them all that. I could use that, yeah." And then you ask them for their credit card information, and you say, "Pay $1, $1," and everything after that is their real feedback. Well, it doesn't do that yet, and like if it did that, maybe I would. And it's like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like everybody in AppSumo comes with their wallets, right? Like, I don't care what you say about whoever or 20% of the community is just whatever. Like, dude, the majority of it, wonderful human beings, help you get farther and are voting with you to be successful with their dollars. Like, how do you take you're not serious about being an entrepreneur if you don't know what that feels like. Anyway, that's my take. Anything to add on
That's a
that
great
for the
point.
next question?
That's a great point. I love that.
Okay.
Real quick on that point, there is a huge difference, right? The freemium versus opening your wallet. You got skin in the game,
Yeah.
and I use the analogy all the time with, especially for people that maybe haven't heard of a lifetime deal. They don't know like why should we do that? Like why do people do that? The way I like to explain it is it's like a freemium model, but on steroids. Because the
Mm,
goal is pretty similar. It's to get people in the door that
yeah.
probably wouldn't be willing to pay like monthly upfront, a year upfront, whatever. But if we
Yeah.
can get them in the door, lower that barrier, like hopefully get them to fall in love and adopt the product and use it and grow with it. So that's the
Yeah.
goal. But the big difference is they have skin in the game. They are opening
Yes.
their wallet, they're paying for it, more likely to give feedback, more likely to hopefully, use the product and then end up upgrading at some point. Like who knows? Anything could happen. But it is a different type of mindset and buyer or
Yes,
customer.
it's about improving the product. Like
Yeah.
you're getting a deal. I'm putting up with your support forever and you're making the product better for you and others. That's what I always thought was the deal coming into this. Not that
Mhm.
we were going to make a bunch of money, you know? So, yeah, absolutely. Um what is the best price point or price range that does well on AppSumo?
The sweet spot that the data shows is a really good mix of conversion rate, but also maintains a solid average order value is around 49, give or take.
Mm,
It's a little trade secret.
trade
39,
secret.
49, 59, somewhere in that ballpark. We've routinely launched deals more expensive than that. We've launched deals that are less expensive. There's always a give and take between average order value and conversion rate, right? So that just
Yeah.
seems to be kind of the good middle ground based on an average launch, right? There's outliers with certain tools. Maybe it makes more sense to do 79, 89, 99. Maybe for some, it makes more sense to do 29. But most are within that, 49, 59, give or
I
take.
feel like that is smart, logical, and a good piece. And I feel like we bucked that trend big time. I feel like on our last count at one point, like 60% of people, like the majority of people were on our tier 4, which
There's,
to
yeah.
which to me just meant like I have gotta deliver for these people. Like I know what that is. You're not dropping 50, you're dropping 500. You know, like I took that very, very serious. And like while you can like just refund it or do whatever if something doesn't work, it means so much more. It really does. Like, so, and again, it all works and you guys take your cut, walk away. No, I'm just you guys are okay, next one. How to deliver or anything to add on that one though?
No, I mean, yeah, it was your breakdown of buyers per tier was atypical. Usually, like most people are going to buy tier 1 just because it's cheaper. Some of them will end up
Yeah.
upgrading to a higher tier during the campaign, but I would say the majority are just going to be content with tier 1. That's usually where we target
Oh
the
yeah.
solopreneur, the freelancer. I think what
Yeah.
made this unique is a couple things. Number one, it's not like we're holding back features; like we're giving like almost everything the product offered in
No,
tier 1.
yeah.
It was just
Yeah,
one
right.
user, right?
Yeah.
And 10 file downloads. Like it was perfect for a solopreneur. And then we had this unlimited tier on tier 3, and then we had the webhook thing that we unlocked on a tier
Yeah.
4. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of people wanted those webhooks.
Dude,
Uh,
shout out to the tier 4s out there cuz they make themselves known.
yeah,
And I think it's hilarious. And you guys do have always gotten it's weird to know that like for whatever reason that plan was self-crafted through the campaign. So talk about like growth in a campaign. The tier 4 buyers and the screamers, as I call them, the yellers, yell at me, right? Put it in the comments. It's funny to watch us spar. There's a couple people that like you should do this, and it's like no, Eric, because of it. And we go back and forth, and it builds a bond. I think where like, all right, well, at least this guy's real. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
it, and they ended up crafting the tier 4. The tier 4 plan as it is was not. It didn't exist right when we launched. We added a tier 4 like the first week or something, week or two, based on what their feedback was. So
yeah,
like they kind of made it themselves. So like props to AppSumo links. Props to the good ones, right, Jarrett?
that's right. And that is
That's
not
right.
typical. I had to
Oh,
pull
that's
some
also not typical.
strings. I had to pull some strings to get that one done. That is not normal. We'll make sometimes adjustments within the tiers that we have launched. If we miss the mark, we're getting a lot of feedback. It may make sense to, it may not. So to add a tier mid campaign and all the background work that's involved, not only for you guys but us to map everything. It's so much going on that most people don't know about, but it like took an effort to coordinate that. So we
Yeah.
typically won't do that only when it's going to really move the needle. And with this, it was already selling well. Everybody was asking for webhooks. We had a good price point. You guys were willing to add a tier, so we made it happen. And I think based on the numbers, like everybody wanted that one.
Yeah, and again, a lot of our refunds came from lower tiers upgrading to tier 4.
Mm,
Like full disclosure, I know dude, we killed ourselves for it. And again, it's not because there's engineering resources on our side from all our engineers to make it happen with all these features. We didn't come in going, we're going to give these features like the tier 4s, I should call them the tier 4. They'll let them know. Let me know in the comments if you're tier 4. Um, all of those people were like, we want that. And it's like, oh my God, one, you want too much, right? And two, it's like, here's what we can give you, damn, you know?
well, I
And
mean, you just reinforced the behavior of asking because you gave them what they wanted. So there you go.
I know.
It's a
See, well, this
vicious
was funny.
cycle.
I did. I don't know. Are you saying that I did something wrong? Or
No,
that I
no,
gave
not
them
at
what they
all.
want?
I,
No, okay.
I, I think people are used to asking for stuff, and sometimes it
Yeah.
makes sense to, like, their feedback's valid. Like, yeah, it does make sense to add this tier, the price point, it's
Yeah.
scalable. What we don't
Yeah.
want is partners saying yes to everything and just bending over backwards, doing things
Yeah.
just getting asked to, and then it's not
Yeah.
long term sustainable. It doesn't make sense for their business model. Like,
Yeah.
that's part of the discussion that we'd want to have with you
Yeah.
as a partner.
Yeah. I love it. You guys did good. Okay. How to deliver this service as a freelancer and how to upscale this service. I'm guessing this person means TaskMagic, like automations. So, okay, I'll say one thing really fast. So one person has, because we give unlimited teammates or like agencies or people that you want to throw it to. We've had one person that has a community called No Code Founders. I'll have the founder of that come on. They offered sign up to TaskMagic as a benefit to their community, and then if people like they made a special plan that was like $9 a month, right? With a free trial. And all we have to do is make an endpoint for them to do that. And that cost a little extra because we have to make that's a custom piece.
Yeah.
But like things like that is like they just ran with it. And now I swear that person's making thousands that not I swear, I know they're making thousands of dollars a month on it. So like another like you can integrate this into your community and give it as an add-on or like a gift away or whatever. Is there something you would think with automations that you could resell,
I mean,
Jarrett?
just probably like work you're already doing. For if you're a freelancer, you're already doing projects for clients. There's probably so many things that you do repetitively every day that you could likely automate with TaskMagic. I think the example you gave, Jeremy, is somebody like literally using this to make money, like reselling it. But I
Sure,
think
yeah.
there's ways to be more efficient in your work, which is where most people are going to get value from it as a freelancer, a
Yeah.
business, or whatever.
Yeah, that's good. Another person was, I think, like sell. I don't know if this is public, but like was selling our thing as also an LTD, like on top of a service they get. Some things are creative. I don't know. They were like it was like a hosting company. They did ask our permission because it was like a
Okay.
hosting company. So like they wanted to give away cloud hours, but it's a
Hmm.
hosting company, so they can host all of these things and then
Mm.
give their own thing away. And I'm like, I guess. Like, we don't white label it or change stuff for them, but they gave it away as TaskMagic. So, like, I was like, okay, it builds the brand for both and whatever, So you can be as creative as you want, but those are two cases where two people made thousands of dollars. Like you said, selling automations that you run for people can also be thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So just signing up to be an affiliate and selling your small businesses or your agencies is a huge way to make money. That's a good add-on,
100%.
Jarrett.
Yeah.
Uh last question.
Yep.
How many sales were done in X period of time? Obviously. Oh, thanks, 19 Mad 92. Obviously, Jarrett. How many
Obviously,
sales were
they want to know, the duration, because that does, you need
Ah,
context, right?
okay.
If I said X amount in 3 years of being live on AppSumo, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
quite as
yeah. Yeah. So we
yeah.
were live in AppSumo um for 2 months and we grossed almost $1 million. So is that now, Jarrett, here's what my question is to you, right? And
Hmm.
that's just on AppSumo. So not like our regular stuff. Do you, Jarrett, is that atypical average? Because they wanted an average and explicitly for TaskMagic. So I gave them the TaskMagic side. What what do you say with like averages on campaigns?
Yeah, I mean, TaskMagic was an outlier. I think that's pretty clear. We don't routinely launch near $1 million tools.
No?
There's been a couple this year that have hit a
Okay.
million. But they're usually
Okay.
across, again, a few different campaigns.
Few
Um,
different campaigns. That was just in 2 months or one campaign.
One
Yeah.
campaign, 2 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, top performer. That's an outlier. It does happen. It's just uncommon. I would say most are within the six figure to multiple six figure range, one to two
Oh,
hundred, somewhere in that realm. Maybe 150. Split the difference. That's kind of the ballpark. If it falls below 175K, that's around like break even for us.
Okay.
where
Oh, wow.
if we would have known we were only going to hit, 50, 75, like we probably wouldn't have said yes. But there's cases where
Mm,
we'll take a swing on maybe a new category. We're not quite sure how much overlap there is, or maybe it's a tool that is similar to something we've already worked with, but maybe it misses the mark for some reason, right? There's a major feature like integrations missing that people would want. So we're not afraid to test things. And
yeah.
with that, I think comes, some that just don't quite get to where we want them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ebbs and flows of business, right?
Yeah.
Like some things just do. I mean, does that feel bad? Do you feel bad reporting that to like the partners or the founders where you're like, you thought your campaign was going to do well and it didn't? Like, or do you take it on the chin like, yeah, well, we lost money. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
I never think about that. Like I do want my partners to have a good experience and get value from it.
sure. Yeah.
And I'm not just, signing them up for AppSumo and negotiating an agreement and then walking away. Like I'm involved the whole time. Like I see the work they're putting in and I see kind of the emotion and the ups and downs during the campaign. And I love checking in, long term after the launch to see how things are going. So I'm
Huh.
invested too. And, I think it comes down to the partner like expectations and perceptions coming in. Like I never try to oversell performance. Like I'm not going to come and have a conversation tomorrow and be like, hey, this partner TaskMagic did almost 1 million. Like you guys are going to get close to
Yeah.
that. Like I try to set the expectation ranges on kind of where we're at with approving a launch. And I do try to make it clear that like it's not a guarantee. Like we don't guarantee we're going to hit a 6-figure campaign every time, but
Yeah.
we can use certain things that we've learned to have a good idea of what the potential is. Not only other tools that we worked with overlap, but just like the market as a whole, what we know about our community, the timing. Like there's a lot of things that we evaluate to feel confident going in that we'll hit certain numbers. So I try to like set expectations, but I also want to know where the partner is. Like what's going to get them
Mm,
excited. Jeremy comes and he's like,
yeah.
it's 3,000 sales or bust. But I talked to Joe tomorrow, and he's like, hey, if we can get like 100 customers, that would like
Yeah.
rock my world. Like I've heard so many different ranges on what would get them
You,
excited and stoked.
dude,
So
at this point, bro, you get me so well. It's like go for gold or burn down everyone else's podium. You know what I mean? It's like that's the kind of mentality. And like it's funny, I want to get your opinion on this one thing, which is and I know we're gonna break. So two more questions. And then I want to give you the opportunity to ask one question to me. So like outright waged a war against Zapier because Zapier took our app. Remember Jarrett? Remember Jarrett in May where I was like, I don't want to promise them the Zapier app. Do you remember that? I said that?
vaguely, yeah.
Great.
Hmm.
So we did it along with webhooks and Zapier the week we launched ripped our app out of
Mm.
Zapier store. Do you know this? Are you aware of this?
I I don't know if you ever told me that. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
remember.
So they did it. So we declared an outright war against them where we'll sell LTDs, we'll sell cheap monthlies. We gave the tier 4s fucking like a monthly plan with 62 hours like for next of nothing, to be honest with you. And it's like for us giving everything we can to get affiliates to get just to steal Zapier's customers. Because on like a commoditized service like that, like where they just do a app based API,
Hmm.
we can do that. We did it. And now we're slowly stealing it. Do you think we got a shot? We're already best in all their automation companies, as we've discussed. You think we got a shot to steal the market share from Zapier?
I think you're already seeing some of that happen. I mean, it's a huge Goliath, so it's an uphill battle, but you guys are chipping away.
Well, I got my slingshot
There you go.
and I'm ready. I'm ready to go, man.
Fling that
I'm
thing.
ready.
Fling it.
Dude, so I'll give it to you. You said a little bit earlier, like maybe 2 questions ago, that you like to check up with partners. So
Mhm.
this is your opportunity to check up with me.
Okay. How about if you knew everything that you know now going into the campaign as far as like your experience, like would you have done it over again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like but what I think the funniest part about that is I have thought about that question every day. Every day. Like every day I've gone, man, would I go dude, the launch itself was so incredibly stressful. And sometimes you question and you're like, for what reason? And I do wonder, if it wasn't my version of a successful campaign, would I do it over again? Knowing what I know now and how we did and what we overcame, like, and how we helped people and hearing their feedback. And one of the most valuable things is hearing people that originally hated it and then we won them over in the campaign. That is like sweet, sweet music. Like, it's a
Yep.
siren call for a founder where
It's
you're
so much
like,
more valuable than an instant 5 taco. Like if you turn
yeah,
a
yeah,
1 to a
really.
2 or 3 to a
Yeah,
5 with your customer service and whatever, like
yeah.
that's the coolest thing ever.
Dude, so here's a little insider. So we were on my wife's. We were on mine and my wife's baby moon during the launch for 4 days. And we went to Hawaii. And I told my wife, I was like, this was the most relaxing vacation ever. And she's like, you were on your phone the whole time. And it was like me answering AppSumo questions and
Oh,
like
man.
YouTube comments and all of this, like while we're just like sitting at a chair or whatever, like at a pool or the beach or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, even I gave AppSumo links my Hawaii vacation. Like,
Do you have a post baby moon plan now to make up for it?
no. Because here's what's funny is it was the greatest baby moon that could ever happen. Because I'm telling you, when I feel like you were born to be an entrepreneur, and that's where I feel like I would, and you put your heart and soul into this, you will lovingly give up your Hawaiian vacation for these people who are willing to put their money where their mouth is and where my product feed are. So like, it was everything. Like, in, I don't know, my wife was reading a book. So like, that's my version of reading a book, was engaging with people.
There you go.
So yeah, like even knowing that, I would do it all over again, I think. The feedback too, like the roadmap and all the progress there, that was really incredible. So you
Man.
got another one?
Um, would you refer a friend or a colleague or somebody to launch on AppSumo?
I would, if they had the stomach for it.
What would be like
I,
three tips you would tell them, or 3 things to like be aware of?
they would be the same tips that you tell them, which is like, answer the questions. Answer the questions on your page. Or make sure if they email in, respond. But it would be more like this. If you don't answer the questions, you're gonna fail. You know? It would be way more gravity. Like, answer them immediately, answer them forever, and don't answer them flippantly. Like, give good quality feedback. Like, tell them, like, actually answer it, give them an outlet, make videos and post the videos. This kind of launch is not for the faint of heart. Like, if you don't want to work on, Jarrett, you know this, Kyle and I mean, I can't speak for the other engineers, but like, we were working 14 to 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And last thought on that, I think what's more important than you answering that customer's question is that question and your answer being seen by thousands of other people who are making a decision based on how you are interacting with the community. So it goes beyond just like, I need to help this customer, and more into how are the thousands or tens of thousands of people that are seeing my page going to perceive
Yes.
company.
Yeah, that is a big part of it. It's like, I know that page lives forever, right? So like, for me on Google and everywhere else, like, dude, oh, I was gonna do this, Jarrett. Look, watch. If we Google TaskMagic, task, dude, our AppSumo page. You can't see this, can you?
It's kind
It's
of washed out. Yeah.
washed out. Yeah, it's fine. AppSumo is the third thing. The third thing on here after one of our landing pages. So really, it's like the first thing. 108 reviews, 4.9. Thank you guys so much. That's why I knew, like, this was important. So like, yeah, people Google TaskMagic and then that comes up.
Yeah.
So
So to be clear about that, I think some partners are concerned about that, but we do hide like pricing, any like information about like the specific deal as far as like price points, whatever. You can't obviously purchase it once it's over, but there's so much like traffic coming through still to the page, not just from like Google, but like all the affiliates that we're promoting during the campaign. There's so many videos and articles and social posts and links out there. Like instead of just directing them back to AppSumo's homepage, which we'd have to do if we just took the page away, they're going back to your page and they can see all the reviews and questions, and they can click on your website and go sign up directly with you guys. Like that happens, and you're getting estimate from that. Yeah,
absolutely. That absolutely does exist. And you guys were at there, like, and I don't mean to like jump on your guys like complete bandwagon, but you guys have been amazing, and we have worked through some shit, and I appreciate this support team there. And I'm sure they hate me, but yeah, like all in all, man, this was great from top to bottom. Noah to you to everyone that we've dealt with. So thank you so much. Where can people find you? You'll have to come back on when you launch your own thing. But yeah, anything else on your side?
I mean, yeah, feel free to hit me up. It's my first name, Jarrett at appsumo.com. If you want to email me, Jarrett. You can also hit me up on LinkedIn, or you can just hit up Jeremy and he can forward stuff along to me.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jarrett.
Thanks for having me on.
Bye.